Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. I am O God from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother SamAnt, Viral Hip Hop News. Another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. Oh God, what's good, my brother?
What's going on today, man? And we feeling good on the Uncensored Truth Podcast, man. I want to encourage everybody listening. Do me a favor real quick. I need y'all to do two things. Hit the like button and make sure that you share this video for us. Let's jump, right into your hottest hip hop stories of today. I want to start with the this R. Kelly now. R. Kelly is currently trending right now, number 6 on Google Trends. And he dropped a 19-minute song, where he's pretty much talking about a lot, pretty much saying I admit in this song. And SamAnt actually brought me the song, today. So you hear the R. Kelly song, and I'm like, I'm here. I saw the headlines, but I didn't get a chance to listen to it. So we listened to it, and it's crazy, man. But SamAnt, what you think about this R. Kelly song that came out today, man? Tell us some more about that.
Very heartfelt. R. Kelly, no one can deny, no matter what you think of his personal life, that he's a genius behind the microphone. Pause. At what he does. You go, fuck, man. You know what I mean? Like, nasty motherfuckers nowadays.
Yeah.
He's good. He's great at what he does. He's a legend, an R&B icon. So the song was obviously entertaining and definitely 19 minutes long. It reminded you of the Trap in the Closet kind of series. It kept you listening the entire time. A lot of people out here, your various media platforms on IG and social media are painting this out if you don't listen to the lyrics, because it is 19 minutes and they're picking out little pieces. They're saying the I admit it and they're running with that, basically trying to paint the picture as though R. Kelly is admitting guilt to the obvious accusations that are out there, him being a pedophile, him being a child rapist, him holding women against their will, things of that nature. And that's completely opposite to what this song is actually about. I'm going to say a couple of the lyrics right now. It was crazy. He said that, you heard, I admit that I'm not perfect. I never said I'm perfect. Said I'm abusing women. What the fuck? That's absurd shit. They are brainwashed. Really? Kidnapped. Really? Can't eat. Really? Real talk. That shit is silly. And if you really want to know, her father dropped her off at my show and told this boy to put her on stage. I admit she was overage. I admit that I was feeling her, and I admit that she was feeling me. I admit that that's some shit that just comes with being a celebrity. I ain't chasing these ladies. These ladies are chasing me. Now, I'm only saying this shit because they're trying to play me. I admit that it's no disrespect to the parents, but this is my advice to you, because I'm also a parent. Don't push your daughter in my face and tell me that it's okay, because your agenda is to get paid and get mad when it don't go your way. What do you think about some of those lyrics? Because this is probably, we're at like minute 12, 13 at this point. Now he's going in. And these aren't, some of the lyrics you'll see on the mainstream platform, but you won't. So what do you think about those lyrics in particular before I dive into some more? Because this is a lot of shit, man, for real.
Yeah, man. I think it's just, somebody who's fed up, tired, and just wants to just put it all out there, because he speaks on having going through his career, and with just success in general, and being successful, you're going to have people that come around you with different motives, and a lot of times you might have a good heart like we do, and then you might be disappointed down the line, and it continues to happen. So that's one of the things that he talked about. He talked about just in America. This is America once again, so we all got a story. And I think he's just, getting deeper into his right now. So, but I don't like how, like you said, people are trying to paint it out like, he confessed, he's a confessed pedophile or something with this. I didn't hear that.
Nah, and it goes deep, and he talks about it more. But before we get into obviously the fly in the room with the sex cult bullshit, he talks about being dyslexic. No, he can't spell for shit. No, he can't read. He talks about him not owning any of his publishing, which is huge out here in the music industry. We talk about it day in and day out, how some of our favorite artists and some of the most legendary artists are dirt fucking broken. He almost goes into admission, talking about how he really doesn't have any bread. The only way that he makes money is on shows doing his thing. And we all know earlier in the year how a lot of people were kind of taking away his shows. A lot of the protesters, a lot of the people out there against R. Kelly when the sex cult accusations were going out were taking money away from this dude, no matter what you thought. So he was just even getting into that. This is very, very personal. Everything that you asked, or anything that was on R. Kelly within the last 25 years, he addressed in this song. It was dope, man. He also, like I said, he went into the sex cult. I'll talk about this. This is around verse 7 or so. What's the definition of a sex cult? What's the definition of a sex slave? Go to the dictionary, look it up, let me know, I'll be waiting. Now, I admit that I got some girls that love me to pull their hair. Now, I admit that they love me talking dirty when I pull their hair. Some like me spanking them. Some like me giving brain. And some like some of these girls, it's too much on the radio station to talk about. Look, I'm just a man, y'all. I'm not a monster. I'm not a beast. But I admit there are times where girls are so fine, they're chilling with me and niggas for a week. Now, I admit I love Hugh Hefner, though through the years supported Hugh Hefner. But when he left this world, he had a million girls. But we gonna always love Hugh Hefner. Your thoughts on those remarks?
I mean,
verse 7.
He has a point. He definitely has a legitimate point. It's like, you know, with Hugh Hefner, this thing is blown up like it's the place to be. There's nothing wrong, but what goes on in the Playboy Mansion, we all know about the stories. We know about, you know, even our brother Cat Williams, who talked about a lot of things going behind the scenes. So let's not act like people aren't doing. It's a double standard, pretty much. I see it as, and the reason I can't go in completely in on R. Kelly because he hasn't been convicted of anything. And like he said, if he has consenting women and they're of age and they want to do whatever freaky shit they want to do, that's their business, man. That's just the way, you know, I look at that.
All right, so we both love R. Kelly, and though he hasn't been convicted of anything, there's a lot of rumors out there. Obviously, Aaliyah and that sex tape being two of the biggest. He talks about that. She said, "What about Aaliyah? Love." She said, "What about the sex tape?" I said, "Hush." Now, who is she? That's talking about Wendy Williams, because we know her, R. Kelly and Wendy Williams had a real tight relationship. He confided in Wendy Williams. She was on her show crying and shit, talking about how she confided in him. He addressed that. He said, "I said my lawyer said don't say nothing, but I can tell you, I've been set up." So he's basically saying and pointing the picture in that verse that the sex tape situation was a setup. What do you think about that? Okay, first though, my bad to cut you off. What do you think about Aaliyah, who was obviously underage when they got married?
Right.
That's nothing that he can. That is fact. It was.
It was what
it was. Let's talk about that, and then let's talk about the sex tape. Who woman was allegedly 15 years old when he was doing what he was doing.
You know what I mean? First of all, I didn't see the sex tape. I know it was back. We was younger when that came out.
Yeah.
But a lot of people did see it, but I didn't see it, so I can't, you know, give my opinion too much on that. But he wasn't convicted of that. You know, I do know that. So it's like the Aaliyah thing. That's cut, dry, wrong. I don't agree with that, you know. But moving forward with R. Kelly, it's just like, for me, it's just like it's just rumors, man. It's rumors at the end. And could it be a setup? Why not? Why not? We gotta sit up here and act like we think when we hear the word conspiracy or setup, we think that this stuff doesn't happen. It has been people like for example, you got people that are sitting in prison right now because they've been wrongly convicted. They've been set up. So celebrities, athletes, stars. Hell yeah, he could have been set up. Now, am I saying he was? I don't know, but he could have been.
Yeah, I mean, it's real. It's gray. It's a real gray area.
Right.
He married a girl who was underage in Aaliyah. He's saying that this was a setup. He's never been convicted of anything. All the whispers are out there. No matter what you say about the sex, quote unquote, or how many women he has in his house, that's completely his business. As nostalgic or as taboo as it may be to some people. Like you said, we can just love and praise Hugh Hefner, people going to the crib, people doing all that. Never any whisper of what's going on. Never any talk of how old the girls are, anything like that, or how many women or what they're doing in there. It's just love and beloved because we all love innocent Hugh Hefner. God rest his soul. But now R. Kelly does it, and he's a villain. And like you said, it's not too far-fetched for him to be getting set up or for a conspiracy to be going on against R. Kelly. You ask yourself why these things are going about, but it's hard. You got to ask yourself why. You got to play both positions and be objective to situations.
What black man hasn't got destroyed like in America? Like, I mean, you go down the list through something, through an accusation, or whether sometimes stuff maybe even true. I'm not saying that everybody's innocent, but it's like, to me, it's a common theme that at some point, all this money that you're going to make and stuff, they're going to find a way for you to give it back into the system somehow, some way. My bad for cutting you off.
You're good, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about this on verse 6. I admit I love Steve Harvey, John Legend, and Tom Joyner. They're going to do good in their lives right now. Why would they want to tear me down? Another brother. Women show black men some love because black men, we're going through enough. How can we get off the ground when we're steady tearing each other down? What do you think about those remarks? We obviously know Steve Harvey, John Legend, Tom Joyner, and another couple amount of other people have really been outspoken in their distaste and just their real basically paint the picture as though this brother's guilty. So what do you think about those remarks?
It looks bad, man, you know, and then without the sufficient, you know, evidence or conviction, it's hard to say somebody's guilty, you know, in my opinion. And then I can understand where R. Kelly's coming from because you know, when you start our history in America is different than any other race of people. So it's like, you know, we got to do stuff differently if we're going to get out of the position that we're in. And if we continue to keep attacking each other in the media and going at each other and tearing each other down, you know, it's never going to be, you know, we're never going to grow from the situation that we're in now. On the other side of that, some things are justified. Some people need to be called out. Some people need to be put on a hot seat. I'm not saying that, but in this case, we don't have enough sufficient evidence, but just hearsay and rumors, what people think. R. Kelly has a very good, you know, point with that.
I mean, we see it systematically and historically throughout time. I mean, the main people that usually tear us down are us.
Right.
That just is fact. I don't know. I don't know why it just seems like we're louder than most when it comes to the outpouring of just tearing us down. When it comes to your celebrities, when it comes to, we all know the situation I have with Charlamagne the God, whether you think he's guilty or not, we're not going to dive into it. But the outpouring of outrage is mainly from Black folk. It's just 100 on that. So, I mean, it's real unfortunate. He has a real great point on that, whether he's guilty or not. Why can't more people put their arm around him, get this brother some help? The truth is, as opposed to allowing the media to paint the picture however they want to, and them to make a rash judgment, because as easily as that's R. Kelly, that could be any one of them.
That's a good
Black
point.
men in that situation. I want to talk about something else in his lyrics. I'm glad we're breaking this down the way we are on the Uncensored podcast. Make sure you go up top right now and hit that like button if you like what you're hearing right now on any platform that you're watching it on. Talks about his brothers. Now, we all know there was a lot of things jumping around on YouTube about how R. Kelly's brother exposes his R. Kelly, blah, 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 blah. He talks about that. I admit I'm to my brothers, but I admit they weren't acting like brothers. Yeah, we've had our differences, but you don't turn on your brothers for nothing, for no one, nada, mama. Joanne is watching. She must be turning over in her grave. What do you say about those, man? He got deep.
I agree. I agree. Like, my brothers, you know, dad, God rest his soul, but
Facts.
I see you as my brother.
Facts.
And it's nothing to nobody. You know, even if somebody told me something you wasn't there, I'm not going to believe it because I know you. So it's just like, nobody's going to get me to go against you. So it's like, I don't care. No amount of money, no nothing. So it's like, it's different. It's just different, you know, and we see family. Just because somebody is flesh and blood don't mean anything. We seen family betray family. So it's just like, yo, that's not the cloth that I'm cut from. That's not the cloth that we're cut from. So I agree with R. Kelly 100% on that. His brother had no right, you know, of coming to say anything against him if, in fact, he is innocent.
Could you imagine how bad that shit must have hurt to see?
Even if he wasn't. Right.
His brother, though, like,
just shut up.
You go to your brother and you you fucking destroy him, fight him, do whatever you got to do, tell him how wrong he is.
Behind the scenes,
but you never get on camera for financial gain, because that's the only reason it's out. And allow fucking devils and leeches to run with it and paint any kind of picture they want towards your family. Because not only are you putting that brother down, but you're putting your name down. That's the legacy of you. When you walk around, you're not going to be known as whatever your name is, Kelly. You're going to be known as the brother of a pedophile, rapist, sex cult deviant, someone that, you know what I mean? Because you also allowed the fuel to go and fuel that fire, whether it be true or not. If it is true and things are come out, you as his blood, you don't say a fucking word. You check him by all degree. No one's, you know what I mean, saying that he's right. If he raped or did anything that the alleged allegations are coming out, fuck R. Kelly. We said that numerous times, but we're also objective. And we got to be objective at the end of the day. I want to talk about this and transition into one last thing that he talked about, and it's Chi-Town in Chicago, his city that he's from. We all know that he's a Chicago legend. And we all know the situation going on in Chicago the last couple of years, the amount of violence that's going on out there. It's really unfortunate to see our brothers just being torn down piece by piece, minute by minute out there in Chicago. But let's talk about that. Now, no disrespect to Chi-Town, my home, but we got to learn how to support our own. I admit that my heart cries for my city because we're losing young lives in our city. Instead of judging me, y'all should be using me to help these kids, raise them out of depression and poverty. Now, I'm not saying I'm no savior, but I can be an inspiration. This is my invitation. What do you think about that?
You know, oftentimes, man, we had, you know, people who meant the best for people, you know, but in the media, that's why I stress the importance of the media. They were tearing down and destroyed, and people will paint their perception because of what they see off the media. So people, like you just said a few minutes ago, people are going to call R. Kelly all these names, but, you know, I agree with that. I agree, you know, with that, you know, sentiment. We have to begin to work together, and he can't do it alone for a city like Chicago with millions of people, people destitute, people killing each other, because it goes deeper than even if he did put money into it, it'll still be, problems that will still be reoccurring, because you got to go to the root with it. So yeah, we got he's right with that, bro. That's all I can say.
It's a 19-minute song. All that we ask while we go through this dialect is that y'all just really break down the lyrics if you genuinely care about the information. If you want to just go ahead and run with the media and run with the negativity and paint him out to be a monster that is, go ahead, do your thing. If you want, because you love R. Kelly and you love his music and you don't care what he did, to just continue to support that, go ahead and do it. But if you genuinely care about what's going on with this brother's life, listen to the song. Paint your own picture, because he talks about everything in here. Now, whether you believe it or not, I think that he, throughout his time, throughout his catalog, throughout the music that he's provided us, earned the right to basically come and talk about it and be as candid about it as he's never been before. Don't follow the media outlets. We all know the media outlets on the social medias and the IGs. I'm not going to throw out their names, because you know them. Don't just follow their headlines and just automatically paint that as truth. Listen to the bars, listen to the lyrics, paint your own picture, and let's have some real intelligent discussion, because at the end of the day, lives are being ruined no matter how we look at it, because we take the negativity and we run with that shit so crazy and with so much energy, and we forget about the love. It's really a shame, man. Shout out to R. Kelly, whether you did it or not, man. I really appreciate the body of work. Your last remarks on the song, man.
I mean, my thing is like you said about the media and people reading the headlines and forming a perception. It's like these people that are, sitting in the place of being the accused, and the villains, have to begin to speak up if indeed they're innocent, because they just sit and be silent the whole time. People are going to start to think that you did it. So I'm kind of happy that at least he, addressed a lot of the allegations, most of them that came out. So that's dope.
Yeah, man. We didn't really we did a real minute part, man. It's a 19-minute song. Like we said, go check it out. We'll leave the SoundCloud link right now in the description box. And that's all we got, man, on that segment, man. What else you got over there?
Sir.
On the podcast?
Yes.
Oh, baby, I want you to work right now. Light it up, yeah. When you got that fire